Justin, what is the story with our hot rod milk truck?
You mean the Divco?
I do.
Well, before we go too much further, I'm Justin.
And I'm Aaron.
And this is Husman Bros. And please subscribe for more content like this. Notice I didn't say great. So Aaron, our milk truck has not been running very well.
I did notice that.
Yes, and in fact, what's been happening is it's been stalling out in the middle of driving, which is exciting on the highway to say the least.
Yes,
and not a whole lot of fun on surface streets. So, you may have noticed we're here in Wiley at Iron Horse Classics.
I had no idea because I was blindfolded all the way here.
Yeah, but you drove.
I know, it was very dangerous.
So let's knock on the door
and
see what's doing. Secret knock. And that's the end of the secret knock. You got to say that last part.
Blur that part out so that nobody else can know.
But if you find yourself at Iron Horse, you don't have to use the secret knock. You can actually come in the front door and it's just fine.
Yeah.
So we're introducing a new player today, Cousin Tim. Tim, good to see you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely happy to be here because, well, kind of, I don't write the checks, so I'm happier than Aaron is in general.
Yeah, of course.
So tell us what you figured out on our truck.
Well, we've got quite a few electrical problems that we think we've got solutions to. Right now, today, it's a 50-50 shot if the thing will even start up.
Well, I'm a gambling man. Let's give it a
Let's
try.
go. Hey, let's do this thing. Oh, hey, Aaron, what are you doing in here?
Just waiting around for this thing to start.
Well, here we go.
Whoa, it's a
Whoa.
success.
Whoa.
Well,
Here's the deal. Just because it works today doesn't mean it'll work tomorrow. And I know that you guys are trying to take this up to Colorado in the summertime.
Don't I know it. This has been a nightmare. So what do you think the problem is?
Well, what we have is a 1994 Lightning chassis with an old school Lightning computer. And what I want to do is put it outside and let Lightning hit it and get rid of it.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce an Edelbrock intake system that is EFI, does everything that the Lightning system would do, but it's just going to be so much more simplistic because the computer is actually driven off of your telephone.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. That cool. Bluetooth.
Our telephone, not our cell phone, so we have to have a landline for this?
No landline.
Okay.
No copper line needed.
Tim's old like I am, he still knows what telephones are. So basically what we're doing, if I'm correct, Tim, is we're going to take off our modern fuel injection system and our current intake with all that mess on it.
Yes.
And we're going to basically do what we would do if this were carbureted to start with and we wanted to add fuel injection, correct?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, so who makes this?
Well, Edelbrock makes it. Edelbrock owns a lot of different companies that make a lot of different EFI systems. We chose this particular one, A, because it looks really cool. 2, it really functions well, easy to install and easy to operate.
Really?
That's the key.
Now, once we do this, we'll have a little bit more option to be able to tune this truck a little better as well. We'll get a little more power and all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Do you have one of these systems around that we can see?
I do, actually. Okay. And I have a motor that's going in a truck build that we're doing. I've just got it setting in the showroom just to keep the dust off of it.
Well, let's go check it out.
I haven't heard anybody mention what this is going to cost.
We haven't talked about that yet, so we're going to move on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Let's go inside and check out that motor.
You got it.
I know a lot of you guys, we've done some videos that have this in it, but not a whole lot of them, frankly, because it hasn't been dependable for a really long time. So what this is this is a 94 Ford F-150 Lightning that we took the body off of, and we set this 55 Divco, Detroit Industrial Vehicle Company, milk truck on top of it. It's the fastest piece of shit you'll ever find. Let's go check it out.
Come on. All right, guys, let's take a look.
We didn't get to the price. We were talking about that before.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We're not there yet. Okay. We're going to get there. So
this is it.
This is a motor that we're putting in a build that we're doing.
Okay.
And the top of it, you're not going to put this motor in the car. The top of that motor is what yours is going to look like when we're all done.
Okay, it looks cool.
Oh, it's actually a piece of art.
All right, so we're just talking about this front piece right here.
Yes, sir.
Just the intake right here.
Yep.
But what about the distributor cap?
We've already got that in the car based on other issues that we were having before. So what we did is we knew that we were going to eventually go to a newer system. We already bought the distributor, and now all we have to do is install the intake.
So this is going to remove the Lightning intake cover that we've got on there.
That is correct, which you really can't see anyway, so it's kind of a moot point.
Now, how much extra power is this going to provide for us?
Well, it's not necessarily not extra power. Tunability, which will create additional power. But what you're going to have is you're going to have 8 injectors, just like the old system was. Bore's more refined, newer technology. It's going to, again, I said earlier, it's going to be driven off of your cell phone. For us to tune this, we basically pull an app up that Edelbrock has on the phone, so you can get all of the diagnosis on the cell phone. And if you want telemetry, you can look at it on the phone while you're driving down the road.
Okay, so
not that I would promote that.
Don't tune and drive, folks. But we will be able to access this on our cell phone and make modifications to the tune if we are on a road trip and it's not performing the way that we want it to.
That's correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is another experiment. Do we know this is actually going to solve our starting and continuing to stay started problem?
We're absolutely pretty much for sure thinking this will work. How about that for positive?
I have never felt as almost reassured as I do right now.
Well, good. That's positive thinking.
So, and what is the cost on this?
Well, the cost of that is really, if we get down to it, it's kind of immaterial. Have you seen the Divco?
I mean, I've seen.
It's worth every penny.
Well, all right. I guess we'll figure it out in the long run. So,
yeah.
What are our next steps? What do we need to do?
Well, first we're going to need to place the order. Have to get the guys at Edelbrock to make sure they have everything, because it is a Ford Lightning motor, making sure all of the details are done. I know that we're going to add an additional fuel pump, which is cost, of course, but it's a bigger fuel pump than what was used in the Ford Lightning back in the day. So a little more efficient.
Now, that has 2 tanks.
Yes.
Does it have 2 fuel pumps?
Nope, just 1 fuel pump.
Okay. All right, last question I've got for you, because it has been a while since we've really been able to use this truck. How long is this going to take?
Well, we're hoping when parts come in, we're looking at a week to 10 days testing and getting it in, and basically finding the shortfalls and making those work the way they need to. Week to 10 days, it seems to be reasonable.
Now, is this a part, obviously you are a professional. You've got a great shop here. Is this something that is easy enough for an experienced person working on the cars to be able to do at home?
It is. Edelbrock actually has made it pretty simple. There are some electronics, some detail in the electronics of issues that they know about. And what we've done is we've developed a couple of electronic workarounds with noise interference. And that's the biggest challenge that these guys have been facing on this.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. It will be nice to be able to drive the truck again.
Well, good. We want you to. Mr. Aaron, thank you very much.
Absolutely, Tim.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.
I hope you haven't just eaten, because what's going to be about 2 weeks for us is just going to be a couple seconds for you guys, because we're going to be back here shortly to see how this thing worked out.
And figure out what the invoice is going to be, what the cost is on this thing?
In what currency? It's so complicated. Let's go. Now, through movie magic, it's only been a moment for you, but it's been weeks for us, and we're back here at Iron Horse. You ready?
Yep, let's go check it out. The Divco is supposed to be ready now.
So we've been waiting, what has it been, 3 or 4 weeks, I think?
Yeah.
Since we made our last video, and here's the Divco. And
all right, there it is.
I'm excited to see it. Hey, Tim.
Oh, hey guys, how are you?
Good, how are you? It's good to see you.
You guys are a little early today. I was just making sure everything is good and ready to go for you guys. I know it's an exciting day.
I know it is. So this doesn't look like what you showed us in the office.
No, what we've done is we've changed a few things up based on just dimensions and how things fit in this F-150 Lightning Divco truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what changed and what you did.
Well, what we did is we went with the same style of system, but it's more of a carburetor looking instead of a tunnel ram.
Okay.
What that does is it lowers it into the engine bay.
Yeah, I see it's pretty tight in there, so I understand.
It is. So what we ended up having to do for a good air cleaner is go to something that's heavily modified to where it fits all of it and pulls in the proper amount of air. Because before the air tube was about 2.5 inches, which was way too small.
Right.
So we went with a 4-inch air tube for this thing.
Oh, really?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
So it's breathing pretty well now.
Oh, it's breathing.
With the exhaust we did last time,
everything's flowing nice.
how is it running?
Magical.
Really?
Magical. 75 miles an hour. Might have been on 190. might have happened. It runs and it drives very nice. All the stuttering issues, all the things we were running into are a thing of the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron's crawled in it, I assume, to fire it up, so watch your fingers.
Hey, back up. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Tim. Fire it up.
Okay, fire in the hole. Yep.
That sounds incredible.
A little different. A little bit different, yes. Well, that's all we have underneath the hood here.
So we can close that up.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I know we put a new programmable transmission in this.
Yes, we did.
Last time we did work on it. Is this programmable? Is everything tuned up? How do we do that?
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
What you got to do is get your phone out, and I'll show you a really cool trick. There's this app called Edelbrock eTuner.
Okay.
And that's kind of the face of it there. Put that on your phone, and then it will connect to the tuner that's in the car for the EFI system.
Really?
Then you can program, you can look at telemetry. It is all inclusive. It's a really neat tool that Edelbrock has come up with.
So will it tell me my gas mileage? Because that's the question I always get asked.
Well,
Only in California.
Only in California. Only with a calculator.
Good enough.
Yes, good enough.
Okay, great. So that's fantastic, Tim. I'm excited.
Good.
Thanks so much.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
It is.
Thanks so much.
Thank you again.
We're going to take it for a drive. Thanks, Tim.
Hey, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mr. Aaron, good seeing you again.
Absolutely good to see you too,
Safe
Tim.
travels. I got to go back to my job.
All right, go do your
I'll
job.
See you later.
We're going to play around.
You got it.
So before we take a drive, let's take a walk around
I'll let you
and
do
show
that.
off a little bit more of the Divco.
By all means.
So obviously this is our 1955 Divco Lightning. For those of you who have not seen this before, this is it in all of its glory. Originally it started really simple with a Divco body on the chassis of a 1994 F-150 Lightning. In the engine, we've got a 351 Windsor, and we have now upgraded that with the EFI system. Inside, it's built for cruising. We got some rocker switches to make it look cool, banjo steering wheel, and of course the big automatic shifter that everybody thinks means it's a standard, but it's really not. It's an automatic. So we're going to do a full video on this. We'll get into great detail and show you all of the little features on it and the things that it used to be and the things that it is now. But we have driven this thing over 40,000 miles. Justin and I would take this on road trips, and we have had a ton of fun and experienced a lot in it. But really, we haven't driven it much in the last probably year and a half because it has failed to stay running all the time when we've been driving it. But it's ready now, and it's ready to drive. So we're going to get in and check it out.
All right, so hop out. I'm going to take it for a drive.
No, I'm going to drive.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to drive. I haven't driven the thing in a long time. I'm excited to drive it. You drive all the fun shit.
All right, that's
I'm
fine.
gonna drive this.
Go ahead. Tim has other cool stuff to show me anyway. I'll see you guys next time. Go for a ride.
Well, it popped right off. That's a good sign right there. All right. You know, this thing was redone, but I haven't really driven it very much since it was redone, so it's all still very new to me. It still has that new hot rod smell. All right, so I've got the cutouts closed right now. All right, now I have not downloaded the Edelbrock app yet. I'll have to download that, and then we can mess around with it a little bit. But for right now, we're just gonna drive it as is. It's like bringing back memories to me. It's like nostalgia. It's the squeaky mess I always remembered it being. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. Now you can't see Grayson right now, but he's white knuckling it because this thing is still a thrill to drive. But it's riding smooth, shifting smooth. Now if you've never driven a Divco before, well, I'm sorry to say you've never lived. All right, well, we're sitting at this stoplight, show you some of the interior. We got a Dakota digital dash that Tim put in. Got the rear view camera here. We also have a front view camera as well. As you can imagine, this thing has quite a few blind spots. We got a bank of rocker switches, which I think just look awesome. So we always want to have those in there. And then this beautiful doghouse that Tim's people fabricated. It looks absolutely fantastic. It used to come all the way out here and be covered in fabric, but now it's nice, it's painted, it looks fantastic. Custom dash in here with our nice glove box. All right, now this thing does have cutouts on it. but I just didn't have them on because I didn't think you'd be able to hear me. But I don't think you really care about hearing me anyway, so how about we put the cutouts on? Are going, I have to scream at you if you're actually going to hear what I'm talking about. So I will spare you that and just let you listen to this sound. There we go, I had to turn those off. But they're great when you're pulling into a show. So inside, we do have our stereo hooked up through Bluetooth. And then this is our AC right here. A couple of rocker switches, turn our fans on. So if it is a hot day, we can cool ourselves down, get a little air flowing. Today, we don't really need the fans. It's actually a beautiful day outside. So it's an exciting time to get the Divco back and be able to get it out. Justin and I plan to do a road trip later this summer. And it's just great to have it back and know that it's going to be reliable and be able to get us there and not die on us somewhere in between. This thing is great out on the open road. You got this giant windshield and you can see all the sights and the big open doors. Really, it is tough to drive with the doors closed. With the big 7.5 foot tall side of this, it blows around. It kind of feels like driving a Zamboni down the highway. Slipping and sliding with all the wind blowing you all around. So we find it's a lot easier to just open the doors up and cruise and let the wind flow through and give us some AC. Now this truck began its life being built by a hot rod shop out in Missouri, in Springfield, Missouri, called HHR. But for the latest restoration, we used Tim over at Iron Horse Classics in Wiley, and he's done a fantastic job and engineering a great dash for us. And getting this thing set up to where it's more reasonable to go down the road. When we brought it to him and showed him what we had and told him that we'd driven this thing 40,000 miles over the highway to all over the United States, he looked at us like we had 3 heads. He said, "You guys are nuts. I can't believe that you would get in this thing and drive it that far. This thing is unsafe. Let's get you set up right." So he changed it all up, built it out really nicely, and now I'm excited to hit the open road with it. So I've been driving the truck around for about probably 15 or 20 minutes or so, and it has not suddenly died on me yet, which is exactly what we brought it over to Tim over to Iron Horse to fix. And speaking of Iron Horse, I left Justin over there, and I'm sure he's gonna want to stay there all day, so we'll go back and grab him.
What's the report?
Drives like a Divco.
That doesn't mean anything. This one drove like a Divco in many different forms.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very broad term.
So is it better though?
It is better. I mean, it's better. I drove it around for 15, 20 minutes.
And it stayed running?
Yeah, it never stopped running on me.
That is what I look for in a car. That's the base level for me. So that's good.
Yeah. So we've got that. I mean, but it was fun to drive it again.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, obviously a short drive, but I think a road trip will be a lot of fun.
Well, then let's go to Pueblo.
Let's do it.
So if you guys want to subscribe, keep an eye on this channel because we're going to drive this to Pueblo, Colorado, go to the NSRA
Rocky Mountain Nationals
in June, and we'll go live and we'll do a bunch of fun stuff there. But for now, that's it. Thanks for joining us for this video. Come back for a full video on this and subscribe for more great content.